few miles away from the city stood an old yet functioning civil hospital. It was established even before independence. The hospital building had yellow walls with broken, worn-out verandas. At the back of the hospital stood the mortuary, a secluded, isolated room where no one entered unless necessary. It had 4 windows. 3 normal ones, and the 4th one that always remained closed. Dr. Prachi had just been posted to this hospital. She was around 32 years old, recently appointed as a forensic specialist from medical college. Confident, determined, yet inwardly anxious about her first posting in a mortuary. Until now, she had only read about cadavers in books. She had never faced real corpses before. Her first meeting was with Raghu, the mortuary assistant working there for 30 years. Wearing a white dhoti with a bent back, but a stern expression always warning those around him. His body was weak, but his eyes carried the weight of experience. Everything inside the mortuary ran on his command. Another person worked there, AJ, the ward boy. Careless, yet quick in his work. At times, he broke rules, but was quite popular among the nurses. His behavior playful, sometimes overly enthusiastic. The hospital was run by Dean Ghosh, the head administrator, over 60 years old. Strict, disciplined, yet inwardly sensitive. He believed that some things lay beyond logic. Night duties were usually handled by Nurse Kavita, a senior, alert nurse who noticed every small detail. But she too disliked being near the mortuary for long. She had witnessed strange happenings there, yet never spoke openly about them. When Dr. Prachi Sharma was assigned her duty at the mortuary, she thought of it as just another government job. See the bodies, make reports, and go home by evening. But the very first day when she stepped inside, Raghu stopped her and said, "Madam, you may open the other 3 windows, but never touch the 4th window." "Why? What is there? A ghost?" she mocked. "Everyone laughs at first, madam, and then one day, they leave silently." Prachi didn't take him seriously, but this was just the beginning of the terrifying story that was about to become her own. 6 years ago, another doctor worked at this hospital, Dr. Joshi. He was highly capable but did not believe in superstitions. One night during his shift, he opened the 4th window to smoke a cigarette. Nurse Kavita, who was passing by, saw it happen. As soon as the window opened, a strange smoke seemed to seep inside. Dr. Joshi froze. His face showed a terror as if he were seeing something that wasn't there. Kavita went away briefly, but when she returned, Joshi stood there still. Drenched in sweat, his wide eyes fixed on that window. After that incident, he spoke to no one. But something had changed inside him. He quietly applied for a transfer. Yet 2 weeks before it was approved, his lifeless body was found. Right beneath the 4th window in the hospital courtyard. Eyes wide open, no injuries. But his face carried the same terror that Kavita had seen that night. After this tragedy, Kavita told the dean everything. "2 weeks ago, sir, Dr. Joshi was on night shift. I saw him open the 4th window to smoke. When I came back, he was trembling on the floor, sweating, staring at that window." The administration then ordered that the 4th window of the mortuary must always remain closed. Prachi continued her daily duties. Examining bodies, writing reports, and going home on time. For her, the fourth window was just a closed corner. No questions, no curiosity, until one day, space for post-mortem ran short, and unknowingly she placed a table right in front of the fourth window. On it lay a But once, why are the lights flickering so much? Even the generator is running. Raghu, who was sitting near the door, walked inside and spoke softly. Madam, tonight is Amavasya, new moon night, and you've placed the table right in front of the fourth window. For the first time, Prachi felt a faint sense of fear. She looked around. Something felt unsettling. Around 2 a.m., amidst the deepening silence of the mortuary, a strange rattling sound was heard. It seemed as if someone was running their fingers along the iron bars of the window. Prachi slowly turned, and her eyes fell upon the fourth window. She saw the iron bars bending little by little, as if someone outside was pulling them. Who's there? She looked beyond the window, but there was no one. Only thick fog, and within it a faint yellowish light, like a candle burning. Sweat began to trickle down her face, but she stood still, silent, not moving. Suddenly, a cold gust of wind blew inside, and the sheet covering one of the corpses fluttered in the air. That night, Prachi couldn't sleep. Until morning, her eyes stayed fixed on the window. It was the first time she had ever felt something like this. Maybe there is something here, watching us all the time. The next day, questions flooded Prachi's mind. She first called Raghu to her side. Raghu, you mentioned this fourth window before. Last night, something strange happened. Do you really know something? Madam, this window, whoever takes it lightly, it hurts them. Do you remember Dr. Joshi? The one who disappeared 2 years ago? He didn't disappear, madam. He was taken. I saw it that night. He had opened the window to smoke a cigarette. 2 weeks later, he was dead. Prachi didn't fully believe Raghu's words, but now she needed answers. She went straight to Dean Ghosh's office. Sir, can you tell me the real story of the mortuary's fourth window? Did something truly happen there? You've asked at the right time, Dr. Prachi, but what you'll know will not be easy. He stood from his chair, looked toward the window as if remembering something, and then spoke. Under that window, corpses were never placed. But 8 years ago, a case came in. A girl named Nidhi. She was raped and murdered. When her body was brought, her face was badly disfigured. The family could not recognize her, and without cremating her, she was placed on the table beneath the fourth window. What happened then? The next day, the doctor on duty vanished. Only her blood-soaked sandals and a waist belt were found under that window. We searched everywhere, but her body was never found. Did you tell anyone about this? No, but 6 years later, Nurse Kavita came to me and told me the story of Dr. Joshi. That's when I issued the order. The mortuary's fourth window will remain shut forever. Prachi's face grew serious. She now knew the window wasn't just bricks and iron, it was a pathway of pain. But ward boy Ajay didn't know the full story of the fourth window. One night during his shift, he noticed a lot of dust had gathered near it. After cleaning the rest of the room, his attention went there. He unlatched the window and bent down to clean. The moment his broom touched the grill, a jolt of current ran through his entire body. Kavita, it feels like cold breath near this window. Is someone here? Nurse Kavita was just outside in the corridor, but before she could feel anything, it was too late. At 2:45 a.m., a heart-wrenching scream echoed from the mortuary. Kavita ran inside. Ajay was lying on the floor, his eyes wide open, mouth frozen as if caught mid-scream, his face pale, terrified, as though he had seen something unbearable right before dying. When Kavita looked at the window, she saw a figure in a red sari standing there. The face was hidden in the mist, and in the next moment, it vanished. Kavita froze in horror. She realized Ajay had made the same mistake Dr. Joshi once did. Prachi, being a doctor and somewhat spiritual, understood Nidhi's restless soul's agony. She decided to uncover the truth completely. She convinced Dean Ghosh, and on the next new moon night, called an experienced tantric, Baba Maheshwar Nath. The Baba sat at the mortuary's entrance, preparing for rituals. He drew red sandalwood lines in a sacred ash circle, chanting mantras. Prachi, risking her life, placed a camera in front of the fourth window and joined the ritual. Whoever is a soul longing for justice will now appear. Fear not, it is your duty to reveal the truth. At 3 a.m., the window chains began rattling and cold wind filled the mortuary. The camera screen went blank. Then Prachi heard, "Give me justice." A shadow slowly emerged. The same girl, burnt skin, half-open lips, sari stained with blood. I waited. Every night, no one knew my truth. No one lit my funeral pyre. I will. I'll perform your last rites. I'll give you peace. This is my promise, Baba threw sacred ash on the window while chanting. A piercing scream echoed, as though the soul poured out years of suffering. The room's temperature normalized, yet the air still felt heavy, as if some pain hadn't fully left. Baba Maheshwar Nath softly told Prachi, "Now it's time to grant her final liberation. Until her cremation is done, her agony won't end." The next day, Prachi reopened Nidhi's old case. Through DNA tests and hospital records, she managed to locate Nidhi's family. When the truth was revealed, their eyes filled with tears. They had lost hope their daughter's soul would ever find peace. Baba handed them the sacred ash. "These are her remains. Perform the rites properly and free her soul." A week later, with full religious rituals, Nidhi's final rites were carried out at the Ganges. That night, the mortuary's fourth window closed on its own. For the first time, no sound of fingers scraping came. No shadow appeared. The air was still, filled with peace, as if a soul crying for years had finally been embraced. The hospital administration locked the window and placed a picture of the goddess over it. Even now, people say some souls wander until they find justice. And the fourth window was never just a window. It was her cry of death.